Hi, I'm Ash Costello.
My name is Nick Rossi.
And I'm Nikki Misery.
And we're New Year's Day, and you're watching APTV. We're coming to you from the studio where we recorded our new 5-song EP, Epidemic. And we want to tell you guys a little bit about what each song is about. Epidemic as a whole is about knowing the parts about you that you may not necessarily like and just owning it. And for me personally, I have a lot of self-doubt. Self-esteem about a year ago was rough, and I grew up in kind of a half-abandoned household, so I had to learn how to love myself and feel worth. And those are all the dark parts of me that held me back for a really long time. And this year, I feel like totally empowered by all these parts of me that they may never go away, but learning to love who you are is really important. So the first song, Other Side, is an introduction to that, and it's about kind of coming with us on that journey of the other side being, kind of living in the darker place of yourself and being okay with it. And it's just us talking about, we're ready to go there, we're ready to live there, we're ready to kind of own it. And we would like the listener to come, do the same thing. Enjoy who you are, even if it's kind of fucked up.
Coming from like a past where I've been playing music in like a little bit lighter, like poppier sense, this was super cool for me to like really sit down in my element of heavier music and playing heavier music and being a part of a project, and not just the song but the record as a whole, which was super cool. It was like the stars totally aligned with. I got to come in to the band when they were moving towards like a heavier direction, and that felt really, really good. Working with Eric was super cool. They had worked with him on Victim the Villain, but this was my first time, and he's outstanding, and he really pushed me outside of my comfort zone. The song did as a whole. It's definitely the heaviest song I've ever played on, but when it got done, it was I remember sitting on this couch just being like, oh my god, that's us.
Finally.
Because it's weird.
Captured it.
Yeah, and like you sit here and you record the different parts, and it's all in sections and it's broken up, and so when you hear it as a whole, it's an entirely different entity.
To Fade Me is about, I would say, a type of relationship that maybe it goes a little bit too far in the way where, you just get to a point where it kind of gets out of control and you don't really mean it to. It's kind of like accidental enemies in a way. Like, you really don't know what you did wrong, which I found in the past year and a half as the band kind of grows. You just can't please everybody. And the most powerful line in his line is, go ahead and hate me, I don't care. And it's so simple, but it's so empowering because I really don't care. And I used to want everyone to like me. And if someone didn't like me, I felt so like perturbed by it. Like, I was just disturbed to my core. And I finally had to learn, like, if you don't like me, it's not that big of a deal. And that's, basically what the chorus is. You don't like me, it's fine. I can move on. You can hate me. You can spread lies about me.
It's got such a heavy hit when that chorus hits. And what's cool is, like, you don't need a song structure that's totally complex. It could just be something simple and still just so ass-kicking. Yeah. And it's such a heavy-hitting song.
Anybody could go and say, go ahead and hate me, I don't care. You know what I mean? But, like, man, when you mean it and you deliver it, it's, like Nikki said, like, you don't have to have this super crazy heavy music or anything. Like, when you really believe it and you say it, anyone can tell. Like,
you have hate in your heart, let it out.
Let it out. Because it sounds really cool.
So track 3 is The Joker. When it comes down to it, it's about someone that pushes you to the edge. Like, they want too much from you. They push you too much, too fast, too hard, and you literally snap. And you kind of realize that it was all kind of an illusion all along. That they were this like court jester. They were like a magician, an actor, an illusionist. Everything they said was so full of shit. And the song is just about discovering that.
Musically, what I really like about it is, unlike anything I've heard in the past like 10 years. I think it's like the most theatrical. It has so much life to it, you know, like each verse is different, and just the feel you get from it. Like sometimes I feel like I'm watching like a silent film, but at the same time it's crazy vaudeville-ish punk rock.
With Joker, like Nikki said, like it's there's so much life to it, and one of the parts that really hits me is there's this guitar riff right in the beginning, and it's really like just creepy sounding and really cool. And I remember when we were recording it, we took the neck of an empty beer bottle and used that to record it, and like even just the way it, yeah, like that's what I like when you said vaudeville punk rock. Like you go back even to the way it was tracked, it's very, very much like that. And it was like that song's really cool. It's super theatrical, but I love that part about this song, how that little riff was recorded, because it really like it sounds so just dirty and gritty, and it fits the song so well and just really hits you in the face right away. It's perfect fit for the song.
So the title track, Epidemic, is about the innate sense of negativity that has been growing deep in society for some time now. And, you know, with the presence of social media and social networks, you know, it's given all of us a forum for all the negativity and kind of help spread the disease along. Especially, I see it in the younger crowds, specifically on, you know, online and social networks.
A lot of the comments you see, you know, you always see these people be like, oh, you're only hating because you're like these kids. But in fact, it's like everybody. It's an actual epidemic. This negativity is just spreading the disease. And it seems that, like, I remember being in high school and you know, you used to always look forward to getting out and being in the real world, and you realize the real world is just like high school. Nobody actually changed.
Normally, I don't like to specifically say what each song is about because I want the listener to kind of interpret their own message. And, you know, we have been putting off writing a song about a certain subject for me because it's a sensitive subject, and we finally felt like now's the time. So Let Me Down is actually about my dad. He was around until I was about 8, and then just completely walked out on my mom and I. And as I got older and, you know, into high school, and he had, you know, remarried and had new kids, he kind of became super dad to his new family and forgot that he had kids, my family. And so Let Me Down was about watching like my relationship with my dad just kind of disappear. And, you know, now I haven't seen him in like years, and he wasn't supportive of you know, kind of thought the band wasn't a serious career. The main line in the song is, maybe it's best you don't come around, because I kind of got to the point where I was like, I don't need that negativity. And so I'm really not as upset that he's not in my life anymore, because family is about who you choose to have. I mean, you know, it's not about who's related to you. And
this is hands down my favorite song on the EP. If you want to hear just some raw emotion, just straight, it's amazing. It's super cool. It's chilling. Like I remember as we were finishing this one up, I was like wasn't super present in the studio for like the very end of it, and I came back and listened to the song, and I was completely blown away. And still, it's been my favorite one on the EP since day one.
So yeah, that's Epidemic. Much more to come soon. You know, we are still writing new music and have lots more to be angry about. As usual, very angry bunch of young men and women.